So this run originally has live commentary. If you want to go see that, I will put that in the description. But the mixing is really bad. So now normally, when you open this door, really, then it'll attack. No, damn it! That's exactly. No! Oh, I got pushed by the wing. That's so rude. So I'm doing post commentary now. It's still like live post commentary, but you know, you get the idea. Did I still have this at double speed? I do. Should put that down to normal speed. Get to the actual start of the run. So a YouTuber by the name of Lord of Shadows created a video called can you one-shot a boss with the weakest weapon in Dark Souls 1, which is the straight sword hilt, obviously, and the only boss that they were able to one-shot in that video was the Asylum Demon. I think it's technically possible to one-shot the Taurus Demon, but I decided to do the Asylum Demon just because that's what they did in their video. I wanted to see how quickly I could do it, because the route they used Chaos weapons, or they used the max upgraded Chaos weapon, which was really confusing. They also got the Hornet Ring, which I didn't need, but the Chaos weapon definitely felt like overkill. And I figured out that you actually only need the raw +5, to do it, along with all the other damage buffs, you know, Power Within, Red Tear Stone Ring, Dragon Torso Stone, max rank. And in this I actually used Gold Pine Resin, which gave me just enough to be able to one-shot it, which you'll end up seeing. And I do actually have to use a different method to kill the... You'll see what it's... you'll see, is the point. Anyway, so we actually start off by killing the Asylum Demon completely normally, as you would in a normal speedrun, starting with the Thief for the Master Key and Black Firebomb starting gift. That sure was a hitbox. But we actually have to quit out after killing the Asylum Demon before the victory achieved text pops up, so that it doesn't count as dead, so we can come back and one-shot it later. So the Asylum Demon is still alive. However, the big pilgrim's key that you would normally get from killing the Asylum Demon is now with Oscar. So when we go talk to Oscar to get the Estus Flask and the Floor 2 key, he will also give us the big pilgrim's key. Anyway, I don't want to, like, I'm not trying to one-up Lord of Shadow or whatever. I just thought this would be a fun run to do. It's like, I don't know. I knew I'd be able to do it differently and faster. But again, I don't want to like one up them. Their video is linked in the description and everything. I mean, the cards, whatever. Anyway, yeah, we do the normal speedrun thing where you quit out here and break open the wall. Which if you don't know why that happens, you need to watch more Illusory Wall. Yeah, the Estus Flask, and then the Floor 2 key and the Big Pilgrim's key. Now we run down. You could probably go over the top and drop down onto the Asylum Demon and then just turn around. However, I think this is faster. It says you can't open the door. You actually can. If you were to quit out in this room, it would actually teleport you, or you'd load back in behind the door with it closed, and you'd actually be trapped because it wouldn't open. So you'd have to go up and around anyway. So we can't quit out while opening the store, which you would normally do because the run is based on in-game time. So that would save in-game time, if not real time. But, you know, unfortunately can't do that to save the, like, 2 seconds or whatever. I'm really bad at remembering to do the weapon swap thing, but it's fine. It only saves a marginal amount of time. I healed here for safety. I'm going to go get the Lightning Pine Resin here because, like I said, I need that, and the easiest way to get it is in the Berg. The only other way to get it... Where's the other Lightning Pine Resin? Domhnall. You have to buy it from Domhnall. You could grind from the Mushroom Children, but why would I want to do that? You can also buy some from the DLC, but obviously we can't go to the DLC. Buying from Domhnall might actually end up being faster, since you need to go to the depths anyway, and to get the large ember, you can roll down to Domhnall, or, you know, run down the ramp to Domhnall through the fastest way through the depths. I'm not sure if that would be faster, though, and this is easy as well. It probably would be faster. I don't know. I don't really... Somebody else can figure out how to route this faster. This was more of like a casual speedrun. Just like, oh, I want to see how fast I can do this if I do this route that I came up with off the top of my head. Yeah, I decided to... I wanted to use Raw specifically because you can get it super early and it is higher damage than... Or is very comparable in damage, rather, to a +15 as long as you don't include the scaling. And with a straight sword hilt, the scaling doesn't matter, especially with how low the damage or how low health the Asylum Demon has. Obviously, I'm dying here to go back to the Firelink Shrine. And now I'm going to use Depths Clip. So going from Firelink Shrine up to the top of the aqueduct is faster than running from here all the way back to the level. And we're doing Depths Clip to get the Large Ember, obviously, for the Raw +5, but also for the Pyromancy Flame, because we need to save Laurentius. And again, it'd probably be faster to just get the Mining Pine Resin from here, but then you need to soul dupe and get an extra soul item. Wow, that was really unfortunate. Skill issue, I guess. Seeing this in retrospect, like, I was talking while doing this run. It has live commentary, but mixing bad, but like, the commentary that I gave during the run is probably going to be significantly different from what I do here. Like, I'll be explaining things normally, but, you know. Anyway, somebody said, multiple people have said that you don't need to slide to the bottom of the ladder to do this, but you do need to climb up from the bottom of the ladder. I've tried so many times from the top of the ladder. You'll pop up on the rail like that, but then you'll immediately slide back down. But if you're at the bottom of the ladder, when you start climbing it in the first place, you'll pop up and then you'll stay on top. Now, I failed this several times. I don't know why. I should be good at Depth Clip by now, but I'm just not for no reason. So this actually ended up taking a few attempts. Genuinely no idea why it took so long. Yeah, there we go. And then, you know, normal Depths Clip stuff from here. And just take the specific route to get back in bounds and then climb back up. Really simple stuff when it comes to like glitches and whatever. But if you're not, I don't know, I say that, but this is one of my most used glitches in the game. Like, I've done this so many times just because it's so useful to get the Large Ember super early and super fast. And also, you know, the Pyromancy Flame for power within and everything. It's really nice to have for challenge runs. So I've done this skip a lot more than most people. So for me, it's not that interesting. But if you've never seen a clip like that, you know, it's probably like, oh, wow, that's really cool. Or at least, you know, somewhat interesting. I run behind the rat there. I think if you run against the wall, it ends up being, like, it's faster, obviously, but I don't know if it's safe. If the rat hits you while you're against the wall, you could probably roll. But I ran behind it just to be safe. This was the fastest I had ever gotten this hollow to actually come out of this hallway. It needs to come out all the way out of the hallway so you can walk past it. And usually it just like sits there turning around and attacking whatever, and it's really frustrating. But that ended up being super fast. The butcher here is a little bit scary. It can follow you in to Laurentius, and it's really frustrating when that happens, and it'll just like attack you out of nowhere. But luckily it lagged behind a bit, and even then it didn't end up attacking me. This hollow here is really annoying, but I played it safe. And then, you know, the dogs are obviously kind of annoying, but if you go around, it's not that bad. This dog will always jump away if you run in like that. And then I open the chest and quit out so that I can grab the ember guaranteed. Otherwise, there's a chance that the dog will attack me and end up killing me before I'm actually able to grab the ember. This guarantees you being able to safely grab the ember. And then obviously you have to die to get out of the depths. It would be pretty easy to safely actually get down to, what's his name, Domhnall there. I don't think it would be like guaranteed safe, but it would be pretty easy to do. But again, didn't do that this run, so it's like whatever. My goal time for this run was sub 30. Not for any particular reason. If I had gotten like a 31, 32, I wouldn't really care. But I did want to get sub 30 because I figured it was possible. I did a practice run to see how long it would take. Even with suboptimal routing and just like goofing around and dying a couple times, it took me about 34 or something. So I figured sub 30 was probably possible. Anyway, I got the Pyromancy Flame. And now I'm going to be going down to Blighttown to grab a large Titanite shard so that I can dupe that at Andre, a dragon scale, because that is the easiest dragon scale to obtain. And I'm going to dupe that with Andre as well so I can get the dragon torso stone later. Then I'm going to run up and grab power within. Now I think it would be a little bit faster if I went to Andre now, got the negative quantity storage, and then ran back down, grabbed power within, and then from power within went straight down to Ash Lake. But first of all, that's extremely difficult because you need to survive the wall hugger or the wall parasite, whatever. But also, and you have to do the dupe in Blighttown, but it's like that should be easy. But going from power within down to Ash Lake, while I think it would be a little bit faster, if not significantly faster, it would be pretty difficult. And I didn't want to do that. I realized at this run that I could just store the negative quantity before coming down here, so I wouldn't have to run back down through Blighttown this way. But going from Firelink down to here, or down to the bottom of Blighttown, is probably significantly slower than going from power within down to the bottom of Blighttown. I put on the armor here because I wanted to protect myself from getting toxic in one shot, which did end up working. I wasn't sure if it would like guarantee not being toxic in one shot, but it did, which was very nice. So I didn't have to worry about that. I did end up getting hit by a toxic blow dart in this attempt, but I had the armor on, so it didn't matter. That was the large Titanite shard. That's the easiest large Titanite shard that I know of to get. The one in the depths next to the channeler would probably be faster again, but that would be really difficult because you'd have to go past the 3 giant rats, the 2 rats in the boxes, and the channeler. And I just did not want to deal with that. Here's the dragon scale. The only other way that I can think of to quickly get a dragon scale would be from a drake, but I don't know how you would be able to kill a drake. Maybe fire bombs, maybe. Like the 5 black fire bombs from the beginning of the run might be able to kill a drake, and then you'd have to get lucky with the dragon scale. But otherwise you have to do this, and then you'd have to run up and get power within anyway. So I don't know. I feel like it wouldn't be that big of a time change. I don't know. It would definitely be a time change, and I think it would be faster, but I don't know by how much. And I don't feel like being the person to test that. But again, I guess it wouldn't be any faster than the quantity storage. So that's where I got hit by the blow dart, obviously. That crag spider, oh my god, why did it lag so bad? What the heck? That crag spider is really annoying, because if you hit it twice, that's the maximum amount of times you can hit it without being hit by the blow dart sniper, guaranteed. But you need to hit it another time to guarantee getting past it, depending on your angle. So it's really annoying. I hate that crag spider. And this one is even worse. I hate this one. That's why I healed, because I figured if it fire whipped, you can't really dodge it there because of where it's at. That is, in my opinion, the single hardest part of climbing up through Blighttown to get power within. I don't know how common of an opinion that is, but I can't imagine most people end up climbing up through Blighttown to get power within anyway. Yeah, so we're almost there. There's another blow dart sniper, but that one's not really... It's not likely to hit you. And then here I get purple moss from a blow dart sniper, I think. Yeah, right there. Which I use to heal my poison when I'm going down into the Great Hollow later. Just so I don't have to deal with it. It's not strictly necessary, but it is nice to have. And then obviously you have to wait for that ghoul to slide down so you can push it out of the way and move past. And power within here, if this thing does the spin, whatever, like the swipe attack instead of the stab, if it does that first, you'll die and you can't get power within there. And I've had that happen once or twice ever. Never in like a run or whatever, but it is really frustrating when that happens. But got lucky, I guess. It's really uncommon that it does the swipe first instead of the stab, but it can happen and it's really frustrating. Surviving that after getting power within would be extremely difficult, which is why I question if it would even be worth it to do the quantity storage thing before getting the dragon scale. I don't know. Then you have to go... Wow, it lagged really bad again. You would have to go all the way from Andre down into Blighttown anyway, which we have to do regardless because duping the dragon scale in the first place, and then have to run all the way down to Ash Lake. But you know, I don't understand why it's lagging so bad. I had all I had active right now was Dark Souls and OBS, and then like Discord, I guess. I have to probably mess with my encoding settings in the future. In theory, might be able to kill this undead dragon and get that dragon scale to dupe it instead. But the amount of health it has, that would probably take too long to even be worth it. Once again, especially since you need to grab Power Within and then climb down Blighttown if you did that anyway to go faster, and that's, again, really difficult. And I don't even know if it'd be that much faster. Especially, again, when that time save comes from killing the undead dragon, which would probably take a long time. Now, I need to get RTSR now, which is a little bit sketchy because you need to run past the 4 drakes over here. But it's not super difficult. I have had the one drake push me into the line of fire of another drake, which is really frustrating. But luckily that didn't happen this run. I actually lost the run just before this to that. I'll probably put a montage of run failures just before this. Oh yeah, I had to unequip the armor. I also put the gold piners in there for later, because again, we do need that to actually kill the Asylum Demon. And then my Tearstone Ring, which I forget to equip until way later. I didn't need to heal there, but I just did it for safety. Not really any reason to, but ended up getting out of there safe and sound. Well, I don't know if I would consider this safe and sound yet, but not having died by this point, which is really nice. And then we need to run up to Andre to do the duping and upgrading and stuff. The Black Knight, Halberd Black Knight, is a little bit intimidating. Not very, but definitely a little bit intimidating. Just run past it, but I have gotten hit by it before on accident. As opposed to getting hit by it on purpose, I guess. If I were to grab the dragon scale from the undead dragon, I would probably try to get a large titanite shard from, or a drake if I happens to want to try my luck. I'd probably have to hope for a large titanite shard from that crystal lizard. Otherwise, I think the fastest one to get would probably be one in Sense Fortress using Sense Skip, and that would take quite a while. So again, I don't think that would really be worth the time save. But, if you want to grind this run down and do it faster than I did, feel free. I would love to see it. I really would. I think it would be super fun. But I probably won't be doing this run again. I don't know. It's a fun little run. It's only about half an hour, but it can also be a little difficult at times. And the end result is just killing the Asylum Demon, which I think is really funny. Not quite as funny as killing Petrus, but still pretty funny. Okay, so now I'm doing a prompt swap soul dupe so that I have enough souls to buy the really heavy sword so that I can actually use item duplication. Which, I mean, if you've seen this glitch before, you know how it goes. Buy 999 to get a really, really heavy longsword, get the insufficient souls thing to pop up, and then that will store a negative quantity. And then you prompt swap again. I learned the brightness menu one, but I don't know the timing on it yet. You gotta drop and then drop a negative quantity, which gives you a positive quantity, obviously. Oops. I kicked my desk. I hope that wasn't too loud. Anyway, go back to that. And then do it again on the dragon scales. And then I'm quitting the game here to get my quantity, my stored quantity back to 99 because the default is 99. I could have just gone to my materials that I already had 99 of and hit drop to give me that quantity, but it's fine. It doesn't really make a big difference, especially in game time. Do another soul dupe so that I can actually buy the Titanite shards and get the weapon up to raw +5. And like I said, the base damage on this is slightly lower than a +15. But, you know, for +15, I need chunks and a slab. I need, of course, the very large ember. So, worse scaling, obviously, significantly, but it doesn't matter for this. And then now we're going all the way down to Ash Lake, which is super exciting. This was probably the scariest part of the run, or rather being in Ash Lake was probably the scariest part of the run. Not because it's the most difficult, I would argue that that's probably either getting the large ember or maybe getting red tearstone ring. I don't know. None of this is like particularly difficult. It's just kind of like doing everything relatively flawlessly. But anyway, Ash Lake was scary just because it's near the end of the run. And it's like the last difficult thing that you need to do at all. Of course, at Toon Power Within, I actually almost forgot to do that. I think I ended up not getting the elevator to go up last time. So I have to wait for it to come up now. Which is, I mean, slight time loss. Oh no. Not too super concerned with getting an amazing time on a run that nobody else is ever gonna do. As fun as it was to do. Obviously, running back down through Blighttown. Oh my god, the stutter. Running back down through Blighttown is the same as it was, so nothing new to comment on here. The leeches can be a little bit scary. I've had them mess with me while trying to get down here at low levels before. It's not super common that they end up hitting me, but I'm pretty sure they would have one-shot me because they do a stupid amount of damage for how quick they are and how early on in the game they are. But then again, also completely naked and haven't upgraded my health at all, so it's like, it makes sense. But I did manage to get by completely unscathed. Then I used the full moss clump here to go to the poison, just so I didn't have to deal with the poison damage. And then the Estus Flask to deal that little bit of damage. Again, just in case, that wasn't necessarily necessary, but nice to do. I don't know the fastest route through the Great Hollow. I think I took a relatively fast one here, but it was also pretty safe. I don't know. There are only a few routes through the Great Hollow, and I think I took the most intended one, I suppose. You'll see. Like, it's not a super fast route, I don't think. I'm sure there's a faster one, but took a decent one, at least. I usually just wing it when I get to the Great Hollow. So I hardly ever take the same path more than once. But I had done this path in my previous run, so I figured I would take the same one since I knew it was safe and kind of fast. Healing for safety more than anything there. I don't think I actually take damage at all for the rest of this run, or at least until I rested up on fire again. Restore my health that way, so that was very unnecessary, but you know, for safety. Basilisks, getting cursed isn't really a threat when you're just running past basilisks. It can be kind of scary sometimes, especially in the depths where there's so many of them in such an enclosed space, but usually it's not really an issue. You could probably survive that drop and not have to take the ladder down, but I just take the ladder, for safety. It's all really for safety. You could do a lot of things a lot faster in this run. Avoid healing so many times. I probably didn't even need to use the purple moss clump, but the mushrooms are also kind of scary. I think I almost get hit by one on my way down here, but I didn't die to them, thankfully. And they do an absurd amount of damage. It's so funny, but it's also terrifying. Yeah. Oh, that felt a lot closer when I was playing. I guess it wasn't really that close to me. Still, though. I think this is the fastest route, not fastest, safest route through Ash Lake. The Black Hydra is very scary, especially once it does the jump. It can easily one-shot you. But as long as you keep running, you know, probably won't get hit by it. And I quit out later to actually de-aggro it, so I would not have to worry about it at all. Otherwise, I think you'd have to deal with it for the majority of the level. The clams are kind of scary to run past, but they're also kind of slow. Especially since I quit out to de-aggro the Hydra, that also de-aggroed the clam, which is nice. I think there is one more clam that ends up aggroing on me, but there's an enemy invisible wall there later. Yeah, so I wait for the jump and then quit out behind that little dune so that it doesn't end up re-aggroing, which it can very much do if it sees you after you quit out, even after the jump. And then I had that happen to me. I ended up having to quit out again. Which, I mean, it's IGT, so that doesn't really lose that much time, but it is still really annoying. I don't remember if this other clam actually ends up aggroing on me. It might not, and it doesn't matter. I just end up running past anyway. There are invisible walls around this pathway, so I don't think it's even possible to fall off. So at this point, the rest of the run is pretty safe, especially since it takes place, you know, in the asylum. Dying in the asylum isn't super common. There is... I should have done that. Well, I'll talk about that in a second. The Black Knights are a little bit scary. Oscar can be a little bit scary. But generally, there's not really anything super threatening in the asylum return. The Torch Hollows, I suppose. Anyway, I should have done the inventory management while I was in the nest waiting. I I did it now because I forgot that you could actually do inventory management there. But so I hook up the dragon torso stone there and the dragon headstone there. I used the dragon headstone a little bit in the asylum to take out some hollows. Since I don't actually have a weapon, though I could have just punched them with the dragon torso stone. I actually didn't think about that until, well, like right near the end of this run. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. It would be so much easier to one-shot the Asylum Demon with barehanded with the Dragon Torso Stone. That's really funny. I didn't even think about that. We have the means to one-shot it extremely easily, and yet we still choose to use the Straight Sword Hilt because it's funny. Yeah, go to Power Within there. Or, I mean, the Pyromancy Flame there. I mean, on the elevator isn't a bad place to do it. It doesn't lose any time. But you can do inventory management here while you're waiting in the nest. So how's your day been? You enjoying the run? Let me know what you think of this format. Like me recording a speed run and then talking over it in post. I did this with a Petrus run with a little bit. Well, I mean, you probably haven't seen that video. That video didn't do very well. Let me know if you like this format or if you really don't like it. That's fine too. I tried to do live commentary. It didn't really work. Yeah, I'd use the Dragon Torso Stone so I can use the Dragon Headstone to take out the Torch Hollows because it's safer to do with melee anyway. It's safer to do than with melee anyway. I think I ended up getting hit by one of them anyway, just because it's because they're so fast. The Dragon Torso Stone or Dragon Headstone isn't, you know, it's faster than just running past them, though easier than running past them. Though running past them is pretty easy still, and significantly faster than that. Sub 29 is probably possible. It's definitely possible with this run. Sub 28, probably. Most likely. I rested here for safety. Once again, just because of the Black Knight. And then Oscar. Oscar is not too much of a threat. He usually ends up getting hit by the boulder, and then you can just ignore it entirely. But the Black Knight can chase you pretty far, and is pretty fast too. I like to parry it to run past. It just feels easier and more consistent. There Oscar is standing there menacingly. Pretty sure he gets hit by it there. I'm not entirely sure. Doesn't really matter. And then I quit out here because I need to kill the hollows in front of the fog wall to do the setup to actually one-shot him. I one-shot the Asylum Demon. And I don't want the Black Knight following me there. Or Oscar. Oscar and the Black Knight both stay aggroed, but the other hollow there does not. For whatever reason. Like, it's super short aggro range on that other hollow. And then I use the arrows to get put into Red Tearstone range. It's only 3 arrows. 4 would put me fully into Red Tearstone range, but that would give me less time with Power Within, which is like, it doesn't really matter. But so what you want to do is line yourself up with that second stair. So about like, I move forward a tiny bit. So Power Within, Gold Pine Resin, 2-hand to the Straight Sword Hilt. Wait for Red Tearstone Ring. Walk in from that specific point, use Dragon Torso Stone, which moves you forward a little bit, lock on Jump Attack and Plunging Attack. So you want to Jump Attack and then immediately start spamming R1, and you'll get 2 hits like that, and we'll easily one-shot the Asylum Demon. I'm going to let past me do the outro because I already have that all recorded, and I don't think there's any game audio to get in the way of being extremely loud. Go, quit out, and we can see our final time. Pretty decent run, I assume. It was 29:53, sub 30. That's what I wanted. Wow, okay. That was really fun. Thank you so much, Lord of Shadow, for the idea. This was genuinely a super fun run to do. Yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I love you all. And we have a lot more members than last time because Krista gifted 5 members, which was super awesome. Again, thank you, Krista. So thank you. Ryan Rickard, Manarok V, Cusco the Emperor, Tartaruga Lagasta, I think. I'm super sorry if I butcher that. Portwine, White Flame, or Anthony, Krista, Nick Sensei, When's July, and LA is my home, for supporting the channel. Thank you all for being here, and I don't know how to end this.